Hi guys, I'm Tom, this is The Bunker, and today we're going to be taking our first steps into the world of Mongoose Traveller. So recently, myself, Rob and a few of the other guys have decided that we wanted to try a tabletop role-playing game, and what better than Traveller. We're very lucky that our gaming club is based in Mongoose Publishing in the UK, which is the publishers that handles the second edition of the Traveller tabletop role-playing game. Now, we have a variety of experience with war games, and I can talk to you about models and so on and so forth until the end of days. What we don't have is much experience as a role-playing team or role-playing group, as in none. What's happened is we've now had 3 sessions. Kat, our GM, is doing a wonderful job of guiding us through how to actually play this game and how to roleplay properly and what Traveller's all about. So thank you ever so much, Kat. It's been really incredible. And thank you to the team at Mongoose for actually hosting us as well. It's a real privilege to play their game in their building. So what's happened is we've had session 0 where we create our characters. We've had session 1 and 2 with the adventures. But today I thought I'd talk to you about the greatest crew in the galaxy. Okay, so maybe we're not the greatest crew in the galaxy. We'd just like to think we are. But character creation in this game was absolutely incredible. I had an absolutely thrilling time with it. And it's so different to other systems. So one of our players has played quite a few different systems, Call of Cthulhu, Dungeons and Dragons, and all the other ones that they've played out there. I myself played a bit of Vampire the Masquerade back in the day for my sins. And they're all great games. But the character creation in Traveller is something that absolutely blew our mind. So without further ado, let's check out our crew. First off, we have Dr. Smith, an older member of the party, is an aging gentleman, but also captain of our ship because he's the only one that owns one. Smith spent the majority of his years studying science, and there's all kinds of science through xenobiology, mechanical science, robotics. He's a real boffin. He spent a lot of time studying, gained a few rivals in that field, as it turns out, and then there was some sort of business which ended him up on a remote space station somewhere, almost cast out of society. He's very keen to continue his scientific work, and he believes being a traveller and the captain of our ship will enable him to encounter lots of interesting things. He's a bit old, a bit frail, and quite mad. Next we have Blinky the Vargier. Blinky is a disgraced former noble who bounced around using their family's wealth to have a life of luxury, but realised that really doesn't amount to anything in the real world, where it's all about your wits, skill, and ability. Now, Blinky isn't afraid to get stuck in and is our talker, our person that can do the negotiations for us. Interestingly, there's some nefarious deeds in Blinky's past, which involved a few people winding up dead and a few funding a few criminal enterprises, so to speak, which has led Blinky to find himself as a traveller. Blinky's already faced some interesting opposition during our games and is becoming an interesting character. He also only has one eye. Next up we have Bert, ex-Navy officer. He believes in virtue, honour and honourable combat. He thinks through and through that he is the epitome of all of these things and really beats himself up if he seems to follow the darker path. Unfortunately for Bert, he made many rivals as he worked his way up the ranks in the Navy. As you can imagine, this led to some conflict, which means that Bert might have had Blinky fund a hit on a guy using a notorious pirate to do his dirty work for him, and as a result has ended up a bit of a disgraced traveller. Speaking of nefarious pirates, the next member of our crew is Robert Beck, a pirate through and through, growing up in a backwater world with very little. He's a rugged man, and it's obviously the main hero of the party. And isn't afraid to use his beloved shotgun Cassandra. In fact, Cassandra is the only thing that's beloved to him, that and credits. So Robert Beck is the person that he does the more dodgy work for the crew, involving burning things down and kicking indoors and robbing and pillaging, and also has some interesting pirate connections. Now, Beck wasn't as successful a pirate as he makes out, and actually made some quite serious criminal contacts who then became serious criminal enemies, and he is on the run from an old crime cartel, finding himself as a miner on the rocks around Dr. Smith's station. Dr. Smith took a bit of a liking to have a bit of muscle around and a pilot, and that's where Robert Beck has joined the crew as pilot. Last but by no means least, meet Major Dick Darling. Now Dick is a decorated officer and has fought countless battles, killed countless enemies, and really has carved out a career for himself. So much so that he got a little bit too carried away with shelling people and has found himself as a traveller. Now he also knows Dr. Smith, and he's one of his older sort of allies when it was something to do with robotics that went missing because a nefarious pirate may or may not have stolen them at some point. So all of our crew is linked, but not in the best of ways. So the Major is an interesting character. He's an older man, but he's big and he's built, but he still prefers to carry quite a weight with him. Multiple rifles, combat weapons, assault rifles. The Major would be bringing artillery with him if he could. His solution to everything is let's get shooting, which is often quite interesting, but he is an interesting character and quite handy in the fight. The Major's our mascot. All good travellers need a ship. Although we don't own this ship yet, or we own it, but we haven't found it or claimed it yet. Our ship is called the Raven J, and you can see an image of it on the screen now. Now the Raven J is in a state of disrepair, but we're still. It's taken us 2 adventures. We still haven't found it yet. So as you can see, it's going incredibly well. So that's our crew. That's our ship. Galaxy watch out. So we go, that's Traveller Journal #1, character creation and the greatest crew in the galaxy. Our adventures, I'm sure, are going to be interesting. 2 people have already fallen off a mountain. I may or may not have shot a few people with Cassandra, and yeah, we're carving a name out for ourselves, let's put it that way. But I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. Massive shout out to Mongoose Publishing, massive shout out to you guys. You're incredible, and we absolutely love Traveller, and as you can see, my book collection is growing, and it will continue to grow in the background because I really love this universe. It's just correct. It's the only way I can put it. But until next time, do subscribe for more. We obviously are a tabletop channel, so we do lots of war gaming and things like that, but roleplay is something that interests us, and there will be more Traveller journals to come. So do subscribe, press that button and drop us a like. Thanks ever so much, guys, for your support. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, travellers. We'll see you next time.